Okay guys, welcome back to my next video. Today I need to repair this headset. The microphone's not working on it, and my daughter, she's getting frustrated she can't talk to her friends in Fortnite, or whatever game she's playing, and thought we'd try and find a solution. Now I've repaired this before. It's usually this little jack that causes the problem. Little wires in here, they can disconnect, and we find that whatever the wire is responsible for, that part of the headset stops working. So I'm assuming because the sound is still working out of the ears, that it's just one little cable in here has come disconnected, and we're just going to have to reconnect that. So it's going to solve an issue where we find we're plugging this in, twisting, turning, pulling on it, pushing in harder, whatever we do to try and get it working, but it ends up deteriorating the connectors inside, and they snap off, and we eventually have to replace them. So if you like this style of video, or this video in particular, hit that like button if you can please, and if you hate it, hit the dislike button. But either way, give me some kind of reaction, some kind of feedback. And subscribers, I really appreciate you guys tuning back in. I've hit 500 now. Pretty freaking cool, never expected to get to that point. Gonna go for 1,000 though. So, you know, if you feel that way inclined, hit that subscribe button somewhere down in one of these corners or wherever it is. Let's jump into it. First thing to do before anything is thank you guys for putting up with my intro and making it this far to the video. So we better get on with things and get this thing open. First things first, I'll basically unscrew the fitting here. As previously mentioned, I've replaced this before, so should just unscrew and give me access back to it, but I can't remember if I hot glued it or whether I just screwed it back on. So grabbing a pair of pliers, or 2 pairs, get a grip on both ends and do the old twisty-roo, hey? But it turns out this one didn't have any glue or anything in it, and I sit here unscrewing and unscrewing and unscrewing and realizing that it didn't need unscrewing and it just popped straight off. So we'll fast forward to that bit and I can show you guys the connections and the cause of the issue, I guess. Now that I've got access to the internal of this little jack, you can see all the wiring. And if we take a closer look, you can see the little white wire, which is responsible for the microphone. He's just having a party on his own here, isn't he? He's not connected to anything, and you can see why when you wiggle the wiring when it's plugged in, that's basically going to touch and make connection, and then break connection again, depending on the angle that the cable is sitting at. So what we want to do is get the pliers, and just move these 2 gold clip things to the side. I don't know what they're called. People are welcome to correct me in the comments if they like. But I know that they're responsible just for pinning that black cable. And when you apply pressure to the black cord, like when you're pulling on the cable to remove it, which you shouldn't, that will apply pressure to the black part of the cable, the main cable, rather than your actual soldered connections. And try and avoid what I'm trying to fix right now. So we'll skip ahead and I'll show you guys what we're going to do to get this one repaired. Now just take a few seconds to show off my absolutely shoddy soldering job here. You can see I've made an absolute mess of it, and this is what happens when you don't use the right size soldering iron tip for the job. I used something way too big, and you can see it's just made an absolute mess of it. So I'm surprised this even worked after I repaired it the first time, and I did expect to have to go back through this again. So you can see here, nice clear view of what goes on inside. Alrighty, so we're ready to start soldering the white wire back onto the headphone jack tip, or whatever it is. Someone add in the comments below the actual name of this part if you can please. But aside from that, you can see I've got the smaller tip on the soldering iron now, giving me a bit more control on exactly what I'm doing and stopping me melting any of the plastic barrier parts. But you can see here I'm just going to solder the white wire back onto that little end piece, and then we can start to put the project back together. As you can see, as long as you've got the area pre-tinned, it's pretty straightforward to get it just to stick back onto where it should be. And now that we've got that sorted, we can use the pliers. Gonna shut that clamping mechanism back over onto the black insulating stuff. You can see I'm really struggling with whatever the heck that's called, but gonna clamp that down a bit tighter, and that's gonna stop when the kids are pulling the microphone in and out. As I mentioned earlier, it should put the tension. You can hear the kids in the background, no doubt now, but you can see that's going to put the tension onto that there rather than pulling on the actual soldered connections. And hopefully it's going to prevent this happening again. And in all honesty, it did make it last quite a bit longer this time than what the factory finish did. So hopefully we can get a bit longer out of this one now. And in saying that, I'm going to wrap this video up, I reckon, guys. Play out the rest of the repair, let you see how I finished that one up. It's pretty easy just to screw back together. But if you like the video, definitely smash or whatever you do to that like button for us, please. And consider subscribing to my channel. Always trying to grow and definitely trying to hit 1,000 now. Next big goal, next big target. Until then, check out my other videos, guys, and thanks for watching.